Sorry about that, guys. Had to convert over to the to the car studio. Um, I don't know. I heard somebody turning on some water. And it sounded like it was in another part of the house, so I just ditched my room and decided to come outside. And it's nice out here. I started this recording around 8:30 a.m. So let me see. I was talking about getting to McDonald's. So around 7:30 I was driving to McDonald's. And it was, simple. Simple drive. One car came around the corner and went into the drive-thru in front of me, and there was one car waiting in the, how you have to wait to, because your order's not ready. And so there was one car in that area, one car that kind of swooped, rightfully, they were driving faster than me and turned the corner with adequate time. They weren't like cutting me off or anything, and they got in line before me. And so there was one person with a simple order in front of me, and that was it. There was no real line, so I didn't have real time to like try to even consider podcasting. And I was listening to this radio show on K-Rock that was kind of cool. The question was about, this NASA article about like basically if the internet wasn't going to work anymore in a few years or something for a long period of time, and then they were taking calls. It was a morning radio show, and it's been a while since I've listened to one of those, and I liked it. And it was like, what would you do? What do you think? I don't know what the main question was. Something along the lines of like, what do you think your life would be like, or what would you do? And people were saying different stuff that they would do. And so that kind of gave me some food for thought, because I was like, well, what would I do? And so that's kind of a cool concept to work with for today as well. And just little things like that. I was like, yeah, McDonald's isn't the best of choices, but I'm like, okay, I get a little bit of stimulation outside of just like sitting in the house and sitting in my thoughts. I was like, let me just go down the street real quick, make a little $11 meal run, which is overpriced for that crappy food, but it's like I remember I would pay like $11 for Chipotle, okay? It's like I'm paying $11 for McDonald's, but it's like, it got me to listen to a radio show. I got to drive a little bit. I'm up, I'm dressed for the day. I got outside a little, got a little bit of fresh air. Got to kind of I wasn't really like engaging with the people, but like, saw faces of people that I've never seen because it was McDonald's. And so like, yeah. And then since it's my local McDonald's, I recognized one of the managers that came out to hand the food to the person that was waiting in that, waiting zone. And I noticed, I think the most important thing for me to notice was that traffic is very light before 7:30 a.m., even up to 8 o'clock a.m. almost. And even at 9 or after 9, right now it's 9:05 a.m. and traffic is still relatively good. And so that might help me to kind of front load any morning outside activities, because there's no traffic in the mornings, even up to like 9 a.m. Like barely now the traffic is kind of picking up a little bit more, but it's not even like bad. I live on a main street, and so I can see, if the traffic's backing up or whatever, and I don't even see it at all. But that's why you always hear noise when I'm recording outside, is because, like today is the day that the gardeners come for the neighbors, because it's Tuesday, and I'll probably catch the mail. It usually comes around 10 or 10:30. I'll probably still be recording around then outside here in the car, and I'm just more comfortable in the car, because, I've already explained, like, my mom likes to freaking build puzzles and stuff, and she puts them in a room in the house that's not that far from my room, and then we don't have the TV on or any kind of background noise, so it's like, it's not like our walls are that secured and like you can't hear through like the room or whatever. Like, it's not like that thin, but it's like, if I'm talking and recording, you can hear me. If I'm talking on the phone, you can hear me. If I'm watching a movie or a video or something and it's at a comfortable listening level where I'm not having to like strain my ears or whatever, you can hear it. And so I was kind of like, I just like my space, you know? I don't really like, I'm not the type of person that likes my parents involved in my life to the extent that they would maybe like to be involved. Nothing against them. I just like my space. That's just kind of how I am. Like, with some people, I'm like less like that, and with other people, I'm very much like that. And with them, I'm very much like, you know, like, I know we see the world differently, and I don't really need to think about like what they need from me or how they need for me to be, you know, because I live my life completely differently from how they do. Like, I don't do the whole church thing anymore, really. I don't really you know, eat the same types of ways that they eat necessarily. I don't have the same ideas about mental health or exercise or sports or you know, friendships and, you know, social engagements and things like, you know, weed or alcohol or bars or clubs or movies, or, you know, we see differently on a lot of things, and it's fine. Like, it's fine to be different. Like, it's not like a problem at the moment or anything. It has been in the past, but it's not a problem right now. But it's like, you know, I kind of just like my space. Like, I don't want to have to be like catering to people, and it's like their house, so I try to just, I do kind of feel like I need to just kind of do my own thing and not really, you know, be too involved with them knowing like every detail about everything that I do in my life or whatever. I like my space on what I do, and I don't want them engaged with every single thing that I do, because it's just not, it's not how I operate, you know? It's like, I'm not trying to, I don't know, I have my own life, and I just like a lot of my life to be pretty separate from their eyes and ears, you know? I don't feel like I need them involved. I'm not comfortable with it. It's just kind of how I prefer things to be. You know, I'm not trying to like develop any kind of stronger attachment or connection with any situations with them. I'm just trying to kind of maintain things as they are. I tend to not really trust people that keep things pretty surface level, and that's kind of how they are. They're kind of very surface level about a lot of things, and so I just, you know, engage at a surface level because they engage at a surface level, and there's not really a lot of depth to a lot of interactions that we have, so I kind of just take their lead, and I'm not going to be all like revealing about all my interests and activities, you know. To me, it's just, I don't really engage with people like that. Like, if other people are engaging with me, then I'll engage with them, but if they're not, then I just don't want them involved. That's just kind of how I am. It's like a give and take. Like, if somebody's not gonna give me any kind of vulnerable details or anything like that, then I get a little bit suspicious. It's like, well, why do you need to know so much about me, but you don't share anything about you? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, and then I go on the internet and record daily episodes and post them on podcasts. But other than that, you know, I feel the people that are engaged with the content, they're there because they want to hear it, and it's not like it's that many people. So, like, I see the numbers, like, I see the numbers. It's not like there's so many people that it's like, oh, wow, you know, like, there's, like, hundreds of thousands of people. Like, if it got to that point, I probably wouldn't record daily episodes, honestly. But I do them more for myself, but then also because it seems like people have some kind of interest in engaging with it. So I'm like, okay, if I find something in my life that can help a community of people, and especially at these times when I'm kind of on this break and doing some kind of different lifestyle things from what I normally would have expected to do or from what I normally actually have practiced doing, why not spread some kind of positive benefit of things that I've learned about my own life. And I will say, from just how I've described how I felt in the last few days and everything, and compared to all those other days where I was like, oh yeah, I feel much better. What have I learned? What have I noticed? If you want to know what I've learned and what I've noticed, exercise is the key for me. Exercise. It's exercise more than almost anything else. Because I notice whenever I start kind of getting a little lax with my workouts, those are the times where it's like, okay, like say if I only work out once in a 7-day period, towards the end of that 7-day period, I'm going to start feeling something kind of a little not so pleasant. Like whether it's the anxiety or just the inability to kind of get out of my head. This is just kind of like a theory, maybe because I'm a little stoned because I did smoke pot right when I got back home from McDonald's. But that was the whole point. I was like, I'm front loading today to make it what I need to make it for myself for today. This is on purpose. It's weird, but I'm doing this because this is how I want to live. This is how I want to do things for my day today. These are the choices I'm making and the decisions that I'm making because I don't want to feel crappy. I don't want to go to sleep feeling crappy. I don't want to wake up feeling worse than I felt when I went to sleep and just having to think about, oh man, like that's kind of a bummer. And then think about, oh, it makes it harder to go to bed the next night. I know tonight I might have some trouble going to sleep because I'm going to be like, damn it, I don't want to wake up tomorrow feeling like crap like I did today. But the crappy feel this morning did not last that long because I nipped it early, like almost not right away. I entertained the thoughts for a bit and I was like, this isn't going away naturally. Tried to kind of do a little bit of breath work and then I was like, I need to just shut my brain off before I start spiraling. So that's why I started just watching like videos on YouTube because I was like, it at least takes me to a place that's not like a new worry space. It's like I'm engaging with content that I'm familiar with. I'm building on ideas and kind of getting some planning done on what I kind of want to do on some of this different stuff. That's kind of what I'm doing in the morning. Versus sitting and, the kind of rumination, worrying about like something that I can't even resolve today, and something that is within my control. But if I stay in that worry and then start making action steps based on that worry, it's not going to be what I need or what I want for myself. It's going to be like making decisions out of being impatient. And all this stuff kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah, if I don't work out, if I don't get the exercise and I don't work out, I'm not going to feel good. I'm not going to feel good at night when I go to sleep. I'm not going to feel good when I wake up. I've had 2 nights of poor sleep. One night I went to sleep late and then woke up a little late, but still with like about 6 hours of sleep, and now I've slept less than 5 hours. Well, if I slept around 11, I don't know if I did, but if I slept around 11, then I'll say I slept 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5. So a little less than 6 hours again. But this time, the only issue was waking up before 5 a.m. And I think I did kind of doze back to sleep and then woke up again around 5 something. And that's when I was like, well, I'm up now. And so I took some time just learning some stuff this morning early. And then I started feeling a little hungry because I was like, well, I didn't really eat that much last night. So that's why I was like, well, I'm under on calories for sure from last night. So McDonald's is like fast calories. It's crap calories, but it's fast. So I've got some juice mix. I've got that Steve Harvey juice, green juice thing that I don't really partake of too often because I don't like the flavor, but I might have some of that just because I know it's good for me. I might have some of that on my break around 11 or so. I might have a nap. I don't really see myself being able to actually work out if I don't go to sleep at all. And I don't really think it will be a good idea to have C4 or caffeine and get some kind of pump like that and have it jeopardize my sleep. But I might go to the gym today. I might go to the gym later today. If I can get in a nap, I might go to the gym around my, like, after my snack break or something. Early afternoon or late afternoon. The cool thing is I don't have to worry about, like, traffic pockets until probably close to like 4:45 p.m. And then I'll say after 4:45 p.m., the traffic probably is lighter in my area. So, but then the gym might be a little bit packed. It's probably going to be packed either way. But I might venture over to the gym today, so I'll see. Ideally, that's how it would happen. If not, I can just work out from home. I wanted to get some practice in on my balance board. I've been thinking about it lately, but I haven't been doing it. So I might do a little bit of that. And my friend sent me a cool link to this like LGBT workout group, and it's like 90% off. I think it's a gym. It's a gym membership that's like 90% off, and I might check that out. I looked at it briefly, but I didn't like read all the details, so I might read some of those details. But really, yeah, the poor sleep is no bueno. It's kind of got a screwiness to the start of my day, and I kind of know what I want to get up to today, and that's not helping. But yeah, I might take a little nap. It's just gonna be hard because the gardeners next door are gonna come. But yeah, guys, that's kind of what I had to say. I gotta just ramp up my workouts, because even if it's the 30 minutes, like literally, even when I did those 30 minutes in the morning a couple times, it was just jumping jacks, pull-up bar with the chair. Like, I don't really do like full pull-ups, but with the chair, and then for support, so that I can just try to use my arms as much as possible. And then like squats or curls, just that kind of circuit. Dude, that was good. Like, I felt good after that. It was probably the caffeine too, but it's like, that was a good enough workout. That was a good enough workout for me to do for 30 minutes and not have to worry. And according to my doctors, I need to be working out more anyways. And so, I mean, not according to my doctors. I don't want to say like, oh, I didn't know, it's a surprise. Like, no, like, I knew that I need to be working out more. And I do track it. I just, I've gotten into some terrible habits. Because of mood issues, because of stress issues leading to mood issues, because of the sleep issues, and then the unhealthy eating because of the mood issues, and then the avoidance of exercising because of the low energy issues. It's just the combination of things that over the years have just added up. But it can be reversed, right? It's not like I'm unable to reverse things. It's not like I don't have muscles. It's not like I don't have a brain. It's not like I don't have a beach nearby where I can take walks and like a beautiful area. It's not like I don't have a gym membership and 2 gyms within a 15-minute drive. I have options of things. I even have stuff at home. I don't even have to leave the house. If I want to work out, I can work out. And still, I find it difficult. And I know I'm not the only one with these issues. But yeah, it's also difficult to have health problems. It's also difficult to have, energy issues and sleep problems, and having a doctor being like, you might need to take this or that because we're not too comfortable with these levels of this different stuff. And it's like, okay, I like having good results when I go to a doctor. I like to go to a doctor and have them tell me all the stuff that I'm doing right. Not go to a doctor and have them being like, well, we're worried. And I'm like, oh, shit, That's not what I want to hear. And it's not like I don't know anything about health. It's just, I've gotten into a terrible habit of spending so much energy helping other people with their health in the past years, in the past decade, that, I've gotten out of the habit of taking care of my own health. And that's no good, that's no good. But, I'm happy with the work I did in the past. I just need to get to a point where I'm working on myself and happy with the work I'm doing on myself again. And I'm not displeased with myself. It's the little decisions, it's the little decisions that add up. And yeah, one little decision is every time I avoid just 30 minutes of exercising, that has the potential to impact some future days or the current day. So I think I've hit the mark of too many days of not exercising. Let me see if I wrote down in my notes what day I exercised. I want to say it was Thursday or Friday. Let us see. It might not be easy for me to find. I'm not going to take too long scrolling, guys, but there's Wednesday. I don't see anything in there. So Tuesday I exercised. That's Tuesday, June 20th. I thought Thursday I did too. Let's see. Sorry guys, I'm scrolling. Thursday was that doctor's appointment. So Friday I exercised. So it wasn't that many days ago. It's only Tuesday. So if I exercise Friday, Saturday I got some exercise from walking. But honestly, when I think of it, I didn't walk that much. It was like, when I think of it, let me see. I'm going to look in my app because I have my watch on. What I'm doing right now is I'm checking the app that's connected to my fitness watch. The app is called Very Fit Pro. I have this Linteltech large-faced watch. I think it's a smartwatch technically. I don't even know. That was Saturday. Saturday was the 24th. So let's see if it loads from the 24th, what it'll say. It has to connect. Does it need Wi-Fi? I thought it could connect on 5G. I'll have to turn on the Wi-Fi. Oh, it's loading. Does it have anything? Nothing? Tell me what I want to see. I don't think I can connect to the internet because I'm outside. Let me see. Our Wi-Fi sucks so bad. Let's see. No, I don't even see the internet popping up. That's like one bar. I don't think that's gonna do. Let's see. Maybe it'll connect. One is like terrible. Okay, it says it's connected. Jeez, I don't think this is gonna work. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if it's got enough juice just to like. Oh my gosh, what am I pressing here? Let's see if it's got enough juice just to connect and it disconnected again. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, my other network. Now I gotta log in. We have the most complicated Wi-Fi password because I rented a computer way back from Rent-A-Center, and let's see. Is it gonna even connect? Is that the right password? It has 2 little bars instead of 1. This is a lot of work. I could just step inside the house. Or get closer to the house. Are you gonna load, buddy? No. No, it's not. Well, we may never know. I don't think I walked that far, honestly. I walked to and from my car, and then at the event we weren't really even like standing up or walking. We were sitting the whole time. So, well, we walked a little bit, but we didn't really walk. Like, it wasn't that much exertion. And the weather was cool. It wasn't as hot as I thought it was going to be. It was pretty breezy out, windy actually. So yeah, Saturday didn't have a lot of exercise. So let me not count Saturday as an exercise day, and I'll say Friday was the last day. So I got a lot of sun Saturday and fresh air, but I didn't get a lot of exercise. It was just basic walking. Probably the length of like one city, more than one city block. Maybe like the length of like 4 city blocks round trip. If you think of like downtown city blocks, maybe a little longer, maybe 4 to 6 city blocks. If I find the answer, I'll put it in the notes, and if I can get that data from my watch, because I think I only put the watch on when I was going to the event, and then took the watch off once I got home. Usually I don't wear the watch in the house unless I'm exercising. I'll specifically put it on. But yeah, last week, I think, so last week, Friday, Wednesday, and maybe Monday. Was it Monday? I had a night where I was up late, but I was like dancing till like 11 o'clock, and it was like almost 2 hours of that. And then like over 30 minutes of stretching before that. And that kind of kicked off my working out. Did I put these dates right? Yeah, so Monday the 19th, dancing, 9:40 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. It was 2.78 miles or 6,688 steps, as well as 35 minutes of stretching / yoga poses. Excuse me. Tuesday, June 20th, I had that morning workout routine with the jumping jacks and squats circuit and such. And then Friday of last week. So last week I got in 3 solid workouts, and last week I was feeling pretty great. This week I've gotten in 0 workouts, and it's Tuesday already. And so Saturday I haven't worked out, Sunday I haven't worked out, Monday I haven't worked out. By Monday I was already feeling it was already easier for me to push to stay awake later and make poor decisions on that. And then last night I started noticing how my mind was just kind of not where I wanted it to be. So yeah, let's call that Monday was the harder of the days, technically. Monday night into Tuesday morning. So I think once I get to a third day of not working out, and that's about my own understanding that I've had of myself for a while now is that's something I took from a client that she told me that, at least with her depression, she was like, you know, I don't give myself more than 3 days to just like lay in bed. That's her limit. And I'm like, okay, so I started doing that for exercising, which I don't even do. Like, there have definitely been multiple times where I've gone more than 3 days. But I think that's going to be my limit. I can't go more than 3 days. Um, but there's nothing wrong with every other day. Like, I do notice that the day after my workout, I start with the ones that are pretty intensive. I feel a little sore that next day. But, like when I was doing those jumping jack circuits and such, I was feeling a little bit sore. But, yeah, like, it's kind of weird. And my weight's kind of maintained as well, so at least that's good. Like, it's one thing to not really lose weight, but it's another thing, I'm not like gaining weight. So for like months I've been kind of like the same weight. So but yeah, I've definitely gotta step it up with my working out. I'll see what I get into. I don't want to be hard on myself in a way that's going to be detrimental to my own motivation. But today is a day that I feel tired, and I don't want to, I don't want to make poor decisions any further. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Dude, I've got all these freaking calls coming in. My phone's on Do Not Disturb, and I've got, like, people calling for no reason. Even getting voicemails and things. I've had 6 phone calls since 8:30 a.m. already. One person I emailed back, but I've had 6 phone calls. I don't even know what the heck these are from. And a lot of them are 424s, so it's probably Google Voice numbers, so I don't really know why they're calling me. I don't know what they want. I don't know who they are. 2 of them I know who they are. So, yeah. Things like that are going to irritate me today, I can already tell. But okay, so it's a little after 9:30. I've got some other pod eps I want to record before it gets too uncomfortable sitting in this car, and before the gardeners next door come. I just wanted to make sure I recorded almost in real time what's been going on, and that I'm not just planning on sitting with it. I'm planning on doing something about it. So, little nap, then C4, then exercise. I'm not going to take a long nap, and it is morning. But it would be nice to kind of have a nap before lunch. It would be nice to get my exercising done before lunch. Cause then, like, I like to pair my lunch as a protein. You know how, like, when you work out, how you're supposed to have protein, after. And so that's one way to do it without kind of adding like extra calories. Cause then it's like, sometimes those protein shakes can be kind of high calorie, and that can be a good thing too, but sometimes it's not really a good thing. I might actually order some, what are those things called? Soylent? I might actually order some Soylent, because that's a good deal. Soylent is a good product, because they're like 300, 400 something calories. So it's almost like a meal replacement, and they're really high calorie. And they're pretty healthy. They're vegan. They've got a lot of B vitamins, which is something I'm trying to increase. Are they organic? I can't remember if they're organic. I can't recall if they're organic. But they're healthy. They've got. Are they organic? Let me see. What are they called? Soylent. Is Soylent organic? Is Soylent organic? Not organic. Wait. Let me see. So it's asking, is it approved by the FDA and is it actually healthy? It says it has healthy fats and protein. Can be better than some sugary drinks served at coffee bars. Yeah, they have the powder and the pre-made ones. It has fats, carbs, proteins, minerals. It's iron, potassium. It's not gross. It says it's FDA approved. Let me see. It says soy lecithin, I don't know how to pronounce that. Suggested to be extremely estrogenic, meaning it may function like estrogen and can cause hormonal imbalances in the body. Hence why many people avoid soy milk. And yeah, Soylent does have like soy milk, but let's see. Is Soylent a processed food? It's nutritionally engineered. It's a processed food product. I guess it's better for you, but it's not organic. Does it mess with hormones? Zero impact on your hormone levels. Where is it banned? Banned in Canada because it's not real food. At least not by Canadian standards. Uses 6 ingredients made with the technique, meaning they fall under the label of GMO or genetically modified organism. Those ingredients include its soy protein blend, one of its sweeteners, 2 kinds of oils or fats, along with its corn fiber and some of its flavorings. So that's just some general few sentences that I've gathered from a lot of questions people have about this beverage. It's the healthiest one I know. I mean, I don't know. I like Orgain protein shakes. But I haven't had Orgain in a while, so because I haven't had Orgain, let me see. Yeah, I haven't had Orgain in a while because I ran out. In this few months, I've gone through 3 containers of Orgain. I've been using mostly the scoop kind, the scoop powder. It's a protein shake powder. It's a little more cost efficient, but it's not very high calorie. It's like 100 something calories. The thing I like about Soylent is that it's a higher calorie. I like high calorie sometimes because I get lazy and don't want to cook, but I don't think you can just drink it like that. But I like it. I like that, and I like Perfect bars. Those are 2 of my favorite kind of like instant go-tos. But yeah, I'll see what I get up for today. get up to today. I kind of have devised a plan that I think will work and help me feel better. It's just gonna be a matter of implementing it now. Got a couple recordings I want to do before 10:30. I'll take a nap and then power up. All right, guys. With that, thanks for listening.
All right. Get ready. Wow. It's already June 27th of 2023. Tuesday morning. I'm drinking a McDonald's decaf coffee with two, I think they're like vanilla flavored creamers from my own house. I ordered the coffee black and it is bold. I can't tell if it's bold or burnt. The coffee we have is like at home, the coffee we have is a Folgers. We have the instant crystals kind that you just stir in, and then the type that you need to filter. And the filter that I use is a metal, like one of those metal cone looking filters that you just, it has like a little stand that you kind of place over the cup and put the dried coffee grounds in it and just pour hot water over the coffee grounds, and it kind of just drips down filtered into the cup. And then once it's done dripping, then it's pretty much brewed. But sometimes maybe I don't heat the water enough, or maybe I don't put as many scoops. I put like a huge, like 1 to 2 really big rounded spoonfuls, but I feel like it's, maybe I need to be putting more. But I don't know. I don't need my coffee to be like incredibly strong, but I got a decaf because let me tell you about my day or night. My anxiety last night was pretty high, but I tried to switch it up because I had a huge breakfast and a huge lunch, and so for what was for dinner, I had less. I had like not too huge of a dinner. My mom made some zucchini. We have these gigantic zucchinis in our yard. They're probably, she made like these zucchini boats, so it's basically zucchini with some kind of seasoned ground meat and tomato sauce, like ragu, bottled, spaghetti sauce type, just kind of stirred and sautéed and put inside of a zucchini shell, pretty much, with some of the inside meat. But she took out some of the inside meat, and then she made some mock apple, like some mock not candied, but like kind of sweetened apple slices, but they're not real apple. They look like apple, they're the texture of apple, but it's actually also zucchini. So I think she added like cinnamon and sugar, I don't know what else, and like boiled them, but they are crispy like an apple, like kind of when you bake an apple. So it's like mock baked apple kind of. And I thought it was actually apples, so that's what I had for dessert. But what it was actually zucchini. So I just ate a whole bunch of zucchini last night, and I had half of the zucchini boat because a lot of times our zucchinis that we grow get like a foot long, sometimes even longer than that. And this one was probably about, I'd say it was about, it was, because it was pretty much the whole length of the pan. So like, I'd say it was less than 12 inches. I'll say maybe 10 inches long or so. So I ate like half of that because it was filled with meat and stuff too. It's almost similar to like a chili relleno. Oh, not chili relleno, but like a stuffed pepper, like stuffed bell pepper. It's almost like that kind of vibe, like the tomato sauce and the meat, and just like inside of a baked vegetable, but this time it was inside of a squash. But it looked really big, and I thought it would be heavier because I didn't know that the meat wasn't like super deep in it. It was mostly the meat of the zucchini. So I ate that, just half of that, and um, a bowl of the mock apple. If she didn't tell me it was mock apple, I probably would have just thought it was apples, honestly. But one of them was peeled. It had a little bit of the green skin of the zucchini, and it was good. I liked both dishes. It just wasn't a lot. Like zucchinis aren't like ultra filling, so probably. And I ate late, um, probably around 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. or so, and then this was on June 26th, 2023, Monday night. After I recorded, I ate, and so then I noticed, by around almost 9 p.m., I started feeling a little like, am I hungry? I think I vaped. I can't remember if I vaped. I might have vaped. And then I was getting the munchies right away. And so I was like, okay. So we always have these like freaking mochi ice cream, these like cheap mochi ice creams. These mochi ice cream, like individual little snacks in the freezer. Like, so, I mean, they're about, I don't remember if it's 60 or 80 calories each, or 90 calories or something. It's a little under 100 calories for one, but because it's like a milk based ice cream product, I can't really eat them like that. So, that was kind of my easy solution, to just eat something that would kind of take the hunger away. I mean, we were out of chips, but usually chips are higher calorie even than that. And I don't really eat a lot of milk products, so I ate that. And then I think my anxiety was high just because I didn't really eat a whole lot. So maybe it was like a blood sugar thing. I don't really know for sure. And then, so I was up, like, I was lights out around 9 p.m. Like, I was watching something and I was like, let me just shut the lights off and shut this show off. Like, not show, but I was watching like kind of like a kind of like an informative video, by one of the instructors from one of the courses that I've taken. So, he still routinely posts. So he was posting some. I guess he had a video that was alive that he posted before, and I think it was like a day ago or earlier yesterday, and so I tuned in to half of it earlier that day, and then I was like, I want to finish watching this. But once I realized it was like 9 o'clock, 9:01, I was like, oh, okay. I am tired because I didn't sleep good the night before, so let me just start going to bed. But then a close friend that I've been wanting to kind of talk to lately, started texting me. So I responded and then was texting back and forth till probably 10:30 or so. And then once it started getting closer to 11, I really noticed. I was like, man, like, I'm having trouble relaxing. Like, my head was just like racing. Like, my mind was just racing. And something in me remembered, like, hey, like, you're way in your head. Like, you haven't really been in your body, like, at all today. Like, you've been, like, in your freaking head. Like, you haven't, I didn't really get a lot of exercise or do anything kind of physical, or I was all in my head all day. So I had a lot of practice yesterday being in my head, and when it came to night I was still in my head. So it did take a few seconds to be like, okay, do like a body scan, and then I kept finding myself bouncing back into my head, back into my head, back into my head, and then I was like, okay, like, and eventually I went to sleep. But then I woke up before 5 a.m. at like 4 something, and I was wide awake, and I was like, dang, like, I don't think I even slept that good, and I felt like crap. I woke up just like mind racing again, and I do think it's because, I had like, not a whole lot of food for dinner, and so I do think it is, I do think it is like a blood sugar thing sometimes too. And lack of sleep, and just being too much in my head about stuff. And so, there's a lot of ideas I'm working with as far as like my own projects. I try not to get too unfocused because sometimes I get like a little bit like, oh, I want to do this, or oh, I want to do that, or I'm like studying ideas like I was when I was listening to that instructor's video post where he was talking to like some people in the comments were actually students from the same course. And so he was talking about ideas, and I started like thinking about like internships that I would apply to. And I was just like going on Glassdoor and looking at this was last night, I guess, like right, like once I was done talking to my friend online, I started looking at some of the job internship opportunities, and then I went on Glassdoor to check about those because I was like, I don't, I don't want to get involved in something that doesn't have like anybody to kind of say what it's all about. So I kind of weeded out the ones that seemed like they had terrible reviews, and those were the ones I was gonna start like researching about today. That's what I thought last night, but then when I woke up this morning, I was like, whoa, I kind of need to like take it easy because I've had 2 days now where I've been like yesterday it was fun because I purposely stayed up late watching movies Sunday night, and then I woke up like, oh yeah, I remember this feeling of being like tired, because it's been a while since I've been like, since I hadn't slept well. But then again last night, so I do need to work out. I'm gonna work out tonight. Like that's another thing, is I haven't worked out since I got some exercise Saturday. It wasn't like a workout, and I don't remember what day I worked out. Thursday or Friday, maybe Thursday of last week. So I haven't really had a lot of exercise, and I need to really do that because that really helps. It at least has some form of like being in my body and getting the blood flow and some muscle, some relevant kind of like muscle use, and all of that is connected to like how my brain's gonna function. So I can't really expect that that my brain would be functioning at its best when I'm not doing all the basics. Like I've been so busy trying to figure out all this online stuff with the momentum, like working with the momentum, but I'm kind of back in that habit of like wearing myself down because I'm so motivated or driven towards certain intellectual tasks that are sedentary. I've been kind of wearing myself down doing that, but then not really building myself up with the other healthy stuff. So I do need to get in a better cycle with that kind of thing. And yeah, so I'll do that today. I just haven't been doing it, honestly. And so I started my morning not feeling too great. And I was like, oh no. Like when I woke up before 5 a.m., I was like, man, I didn't want to wake up thinking about this stuff. And almost immediately I was like, okay, shut this down. Like, I think I was watching some Dave Ramsey episode. Like, I was all over the place last night, guys. Like, until probably 11 p.m. or so. So that lights out between like 9 p.m. and like 11 p.m. I was still kind of like actively like engaging with YouTube and online with a friend, and I was a little hyper last night for that hour, considering how tired I was around 9. I was like, why am I still awake though? So I got like a little energy burst last night, and that was not good at all. But yeah, when I went to sleep, yeah, I woke up and just immediately just like my head was just like flooded with, like, um, mostly a lot of the stuff I kind of went to sleep thinking about, but thinking about it from a different perspective that wasn't too like problem solving, too uh, like idea building. It was more like I'm just focusing on the negative aspects of like, oh, like I need to, I want to find work. I want to find like the right placement that could potentially lead to something full time and lucrative, as well as learning the skills through the job that I can implement in my own projects, and, you know, still working on my own projects and ideas I got from that instructor's video, and the stuff I plan to work on for this week and specifically for today, and some of the ideas from Dave Ramsey's videos, and it was his regular YouTube show or podcast or whatever you call it, the Dave Ramsey show, and like, yeah, like, and then like some of the traveling I'd like to do in upcoming months, like, you know, that's gonna be expensive, and it would be nice to have something coming in that's more consistent. And it has been hard to get on this Uber Eats delivering, just because I'm really trying to put more energy into this other stuff. Like, intellectually, I get more value out of it. I'm learning a lot every day. It's like a lot of problem solving and learning and testing and reviewing and analyzing and creating, versus Uber Eats that's just like, here's an order, go pick it up and take it there. Like, to me, it's like, yeah, it's money, but it's like, that's all it is it's just money. And yeah, you're providing a service, but it's hard for me to kind of really get pumped up about doing that, versus this other stuff, even if it's not always paying, or it doesn't pay a lot, or it doesn't pay in a way that I can actually predict at the moment. There's the potential for it to be like an evergreen source, and at the very least, I'm learning. I still get data from what doesn't work, so it's like, what does work, yes, that's what I want to focus on, but what doesn't work, I also am learning about what's not working, what people don't engage with, what people couldn't care less about. There's sometimes ideas I'm like, oh, like, let me put this out there and record about this, or write about this, or put a video about that, and it's like, oh, nobody nobody cares. Like, I can build links to things and make it like perfect content on the surface, and then realize like I'm the only person probably on the face of the planet that cares about that topic, other than the other resources that I was reviewing to kind of learn about, to have more content to write about and ideas to naturally form from that content. It's like nobody else cares but me and that other person or whatever. So even just learning that way, for me, it's like, it's definitely a learning process. And I was like, first I was like, okay, I cannot spend all Tuesday. I'm not going to spend all Tuesday, first of all, trying to sleep, because I feel tired and exhausted because I didn't sleep well. I'm not going to try to like force myself to sleep, because I realized I wasn't sleeping. So I was like, let's just, first of all, put my head in a better space. And so I went and saw on YouTube that I had been watching that Dave Ramsey episode, realized I didn't want to watch that, and clicked through onto some other stuff that was recommended about blogging and actionable steps of stuff that I can try. And sorry, that was a weird noise. But yeah, and some other yeah, I don't know, I heard a weird noise outside. But yeah, some other stuff that I'm, maybe able to try and learn about, um, and record about. And I was like, let me go to McDonald's. Not the healthiest choice at all, but I was like, I don't feel like cooking, but then it'll get me up because I'll get dressed a little bit, like in something casual, and be able to test out traffic, outside, because I haven't been outside early in the morning in a while. Like, I get up, but I'm not like outside, like doing anything. And so I've been waiting for the schools to be out, and they've been out for a while now, but um there's certain times a day that I usually wasn't going out or doing anything because there would be a lot of traffic. So, yeah, shout out to LA traffic. But there would be a lot of traffic. So, I basically um I basically put on some clothes, took a little cannabis with me so I can kind of smoke it once I come back, because it's like I didn't want to have to come back in the house and get it and then come back outside. So I was like, loaded up my backpack with a couple little belongings, like put my phone to charge. I was gonna record while driving, and then I was like, no, let me just put my phone to charge while I'm in the car. So I was charging my phone while I was driving because it was below 20%, because I'd been listening to stuff in the morning. And by this time it was like 7 a.m. I think it's a dog whimpering, maybe. But yeah, it was about 7 a.m. when I was just putting on some clothes and washing my face and just kind of looking at least somewhat presentable. Like, I try to look presentable enough that if the car stalls and I have to call for support, or I have to like walk from the car back to the house or something like that, I don't feel like embarrassed. So that's kind of my standard, is trying to make sure that I don't feel, embarrassed. Who's calling me from this 424 number? Anyways, yeah, I try to make sure I'm not feeling like too disheveled, so even if I don't fully comb up my hair, because that takes like 30 minutes or so. So that's the part that when I'm just trying to leave the house real quick, usually that's going to take the longest to get ready. So otherwise I just put on some clothes, like something fresh, and just go. Like, I'm not sweating. I just woke up. I was laying here. My room is nice and cooled. I showered yesterday. Like, I'll shower sometime today. Probably after I get some exercise, I'll shower. And I really give me a minute.